Welcome, friends. Today, we're doing another fragrance rotation video for the week ending the 6th of November, 2022. Cold. And it has been cold this week. You will see that in my choices. The choices are getting steadily darker and darker and warmer and more resinous and sweeter as the nights get longer and the days get shorter. You know, it's been cold and wet all week, and my choices will indicate this, as you will soon find out. So on Monday, Halloween, I decided to wear this Follow by Kerosene. Excellent fragrance. Probably the best coffee fragrance I've ever smelled. Absolutely fantastic. John Pegg, who is the perfumer and owner of the house, used to be a YouTube reviewer of fragrance. But he got rid of his channel, stopped making videos, and picked up the pipette and started making perfumes for himself. And this is probably his most famous one. I don't think there's any probably about it, actually. It's definitely his most famous one. He has recently released a flanker, which I would like to smell, called Followed. This is dark roasted coffee. It gets a little milkier, a little bit more lactonic, and a little bit more... Oh, I've just pulled the label off. A little bit darker, a little bit more lactonic, a little bit more sort of ambery in the dry down. But at the top and from the cap, it is definitely a very rich, dark, resinous... Not resinous. Dark roasted. That was the word I was looking for. Rich, dark, roasted coffee fragrance. It's beautiful. And I'm going to have to find a way of sticking this label back on. I will say that the bottles aren't the world's greatest bottles. Sprayer's okay, but there's this stuff that goes around the bottle to like give it like the black effect, and it's peeling off. Not to worry. It's the juice inside that matters the most. But as you can see, that's just come off and it's not ideal, is it? So I'll find something. Anyhow, next, Tuesday, I decided to wear something I haven't worn this year so far, and it is one of my favourite Dior Privés, and it is Queer Canage. This is Francois Demarchy's interpretation of what his grandmother's leather handbag smelled like. To me, it's iris and a rich, warm, soft leather with some kind of, I think it's orange flower, like, you know, African orange flower. I think it's that, but there's like... There's it could be jasmine. I think it's orange blossom or something like that. Yeah, it is orange blossom. There's like a little bit of orangey sort of like syrupy kind of sweetness at the top. But then you get like this smoke, leather, birchy, jasmine, iris, leather thing going on. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it. A fantastic winter warmer, you know, like it's, I mean, Demarchy didn't produce, I mean, towards the end it went a bit pear-shaped, but back in 2014 when he released this, I believe it was, yeah, it was, he was still making like good stuff. He'd only made Leather Oud like a couple of years before this. Fantastic. I think this is Dior's version of Quai de Russie. I don't think it's the same as Quai de Russie, but I think because Dior must do everything similar to Chanel, I think they've tried to rip off that fragrance, and I believe this is the result of it. But not to worry. Next, I wore for the first time from this bottle an absolutely amazing fragrance. This is one of the best fragrances possibly ever. It was made for women. Indeed, that's the name of it. Femme Rochas Eau de Toilette. This is my 80s tester. My 80s bottle. I think it was a tester. I've got a couple of these. This is absolutely beautiful, but when I wore it on Wednesday, I noticed a little bit of skank, and I don't know where that was coming from. Like, it was like a sweaty kind of skank, and it wasn't me. It was definitely the fragrance. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. That was good hydration. So, yes, something has definitely blindsided me a bit there, because I was not expecting it, but it is there, or it was there on Wednesday. It definitely still had the date plum kind of vibe, you know. Rochas Femme. It had that warm, sweet plum. Yeah, it's plum, not dates. Sorry, I always get them mixed up. It had that warm, sweet cinnamon, plum, fruity, clovey thing going on at the top, and then through the middle, it just sort of like unfurls. You know, it doesn't fall apart. It comes apart. It's very choreographed how it's made and how it descends through the tiers, through the composition from top to middle to bottom. Big oak moss, smoky, leathery, a little bit resinous in the base. It's absolutely stunning. I love it. And you can bet that you'll be seeing this fragrance again. Thursday, I went for something completely different, a very manly fragrance. And this is Santos de Cartier. To me, this always smells like green, musty, brown suit, 1980s, mustache, maybe some aviators. It's absolutely class. I absolutely love this. I actually think the latest version of this isn't that bad. I think it's definitely kept its soul, if not its original heft. It's still the soul of a hefty perfume, you know. It's got all the kind of strong 80s sort of things you would want. There's big lavender, there's juniper, nutmeg, vetiver, rosemary, sandalwood, vanilla. It's a big, hefty perfume. I think there's cloves in this as well somewhere. And outrageously, there's something I never forget about this. I don't mention it very often though. Outrageously, it's supposed to have a coconut note in it, right? Now, for some reason, coconut notes just keep appearing every once in a while in like vintage or 80s perfumes, you know? And it's like, what are you doing here? Get out. You're a strange coconut note. Why are you here? Got absolutely no business being there, but so it is. I am yet to smell it, or maybe I'm just not looking in the right place. Because it does have a kind of creamy milkiness to it, But I always thought that was just the sandalwood. Maybe I need to reconsider, like. You can see the dint I've put in this. Absolutely massive. I love this shit. It's fucking brilliant. Next, Friday. Friday I went with something completely different, but also something very, very apt for this time of year. This is a discontinued, it's not a unicorn because you can still find them relatively easily, but you'll pay high prices these days for them. But I love this stuff. And this is Fahrenheit Absolute, a long-lost flanker. I said before about Francois Demachy making decent perfumes. This was around 2009. This is a fabulous flanker. This is absolutely brilliant. It's got that kind of, it's still got that violet leaf kind of petrol-y, dangerous kind of smell to it. But it's also got this myrrh. It smells slightly, I don't want to say religious, but it's got this kind of spiritual kind of thing going on. Robes described this as being the devil's juice, like what the devil would wear. And it's absolutely brilliant. It's a brilliant description of it. And it's very good. You can, because it's got this sweetness to it as well, which makes it like a little attractive, you know. Definitely one of Demachy's better releases for Dior. So maybe I'll do that video. Demachy's good releases. I mean, there won't be anything from like the last 5 years or so, but you know. Next, yesterday, one of the, I don't want to say one of the, well, yeah, it is. It's one of the crown jewels in me collection. I absolutely love this stuff, and I am very pleased that I own it. And this is Shiseido's Féminité du Bois, made by Serge Luton when he was at Shiseido, and the perfumers were Pierre Bourdon and a young and inexperienced Christopher Sheldrake at the time. Absolutely sensational. I love it. Two of my favourite perfumers working together, and it shows. This is, well, I think it translates to feminine woods, but it's plum again. There's plum in Rochas Femme, sorry. And there's plum in this. It's a very good note for this time of year because it's dark, it's rich, it's a little sweet. But there's also cedar in it and cinnamon. It's got this rich sweetness without ever becoming too sweet. It's also got this slight vibe of it. You definitely know when you put it on, it's a perfume. You know, it smells like perfumey, like when you first put it on. Oh, but it's got this freshness from the cedar and the cinnamon. It's such a well-made and well executed perfume. It's hard to believe that it was like Féminité du Bois, like woods for women, or like feminine woods, you know. It's a true unisex fragrance for me. I love wearing this. The only thing stopping us from wearing it more often is that I haven't got that much of it left. You know what I mean? But anyhow, today, my scent of the day. Oh, I think I've just sprayed the microphone. My scent of the day is this. Diptyque's Tam Dao. I absolutely love this. It is not a natural, like, sandalwood, cedar wood fragrance, not a huge organic sort of thing, but it smells extremely woody. It smells extremely good. You know, I don't know that it's like one of the best perfumes ever made, but as a dark woody perfume, like it's not ebony wood, it's not that kind of dark, but it has a darkness to it, but it's also got a light and a freshness to it. You know, it's very, very amenable. It's very acceptable. People who will smell this, who aren't into perfume, will say that smells really nice, but it's different, you know? And that's what it is. It's nice, but it's different, and it's not too different though, you know? It's a very good use of synthetic materials and things like, I think there's isoe in this, and I think there's also some amber wood. Right, but it's dosed so well, it's done so well that I wouldn't turn my nose up to it. And if I could smell it too much, I would. It doesn't rely on that note as one of the main notes, or it doesn't make like a virtue of it, you know? It's there to help the structure, the scaffold. And that's what it does. Big cedar, big sandalwood. A little bit creamy in the dry down too, so it could be something musky, vanillic, that kind of thing. I've got a theory that Tam Dao are a bit like Comme des Garçons in that they are like almost exclusively synthetic perfumes, you know. But anyway, this has been my rotation for the first week of November 22. Thank you very much, everybody. I will see you again soon. Bye.